it's a tough night at the office. Nobody's happy that Mike Tyson lost, but yeah, we're proud of it. It's not that we're proud of the 8 rounds. We're just proud of the effort throughout camp, and the performance was all right.
Looking at my appearance, I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah, that's most likely. I'm not going to fight again. I'm not going to disrespect the sport anymore by losing to this caliber of fighters.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong. He's Mike Tyson, but he's 60 years old, and he knew that Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him.
Mike Tyson's legendary boxing journey seems to have ended after his shocking loss to Jake Paul. Mike Tyson's recent tweet has left fans in the boxing world in awe, as the legendary fighter opened up about his intense personal battles leading up to his final bout. Tyson posted, "This is one of those situations when you lost but still won. I'm grateful for last night. No regrets to get in the ring one last time. I almost died in June. Had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood and 25 lbs in hospital, and had to fight to get healthy to fight, so I won." By mentioning no regrets to get in the ring one last time, it can be predicted that Mike Tyson will not fight further. Mike Tyson shared a heartfelt message, thanking everyone for an incredible experience. He talked about the pride of going 8 tough rounds in front of a packed stadium with his children watching. Tyson shared, "To have my children see me stand toe-to-toe and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboy stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you." Tyson's surprising admission changed how people saw the fight. What some called a spectacle became a story of determination and courage. After battling a serious health scare, Tyson's decision to fight someone much younger showed his incredible strength and resilience.
Mike, first let's start with you. Did you want to continue?
Well, I would like to continue, but I saw that I was getting beat on. I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
When did you recognize that? At what part of the fight?
I don't know, early into the fight. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
Did you feel as though you had it coming into the fight?
No, I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically.
Though his body may be slower and his aggression more measured, Tyson's love for the sport and the challenge of proving something to himself rather than the world still burns strong. The fight, initially scheduled for July, was postponed in May on medical advice after Tyson suffered from a stomach ulcer flare-up, which he has now revealed was more serious than it first appeared.
Yeah, this fight was just different. I feel like mentally locked in, like a lot less nerves than normal. I'm just getting so used to these moments. And honestly, fighting in a stadium, there was less nerve. It's less personal.
Yes.
So, and it's less loud. So it was actually like way less nerve wracking.
It was very happy.
I felt so far from the people and the energy and all that. So arenas are harder to fight in, and the walkout, I just was cool, calm, collected, and I thought that was just like a fun moment. And
Jake Paul, who faced off against the legendary Mike Tyson on Friday night, also admitted that stepping into the ring with a fighter of Tyson's stature wasn't easy. Despite his brash persona, Paul acknowledged the immense challenge of facing a living legend.
In the first round, I was just gauging his speed, and once I got his timing pretty quick and saw how I could, tag him up and touch him, the rest was pretty much history. I just outboxed him and had fun.
What was the game plan going into it?
The first 3 rounds to go slow, let him sort of tire himself out, jab, move, staying on the outside, drop in some shots when I could, but to let him get tired so that he wasn't as dangerous. And
Jake Paul has proven that he has tactics to beat his opponent. Mentioning his recent fight with Tyson, Jake revealed that he let Tyson punch him so that he would get tired, then took the chance to brutally knock out his opponent.
I was in control of the fight because he was frustrated. He was hard to hit. Like the slipperiness of those, I don't know how he can bend over that far.
You did amazing staying on the outside.
What about from yesterday, the clip we've all seen of you getting slapped in the weigh-ins?
Yeah, I told him in the end post-fight speech that it was a good slap. It was a really good slap.
Did you feel it? Did it hurt you?
No. People were saying like, oh, you wobbled or all this stuff, but I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I didn't feel anything.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Jake Paul admitted that while Mike Tyson's slap wasn't as hard as he expected, the fight itself was much more challenging. Tyson's experience and defensive skills made him difficult to hit, even at 58. Despite the age difference, Paul found Tyson elusive in the ring, proving that the former champion still possesses a high level of skill and ring craft.
Mike Tyson made history again. 58 years old, he made history again. Just before we walked out, he whispered in my ear and he said, "I love making history." That's what he's built on. So, yeah, we're a little bit disappointed we didn't get the W. We're a little bit disappointed he didn't knock Jake out. I think everybody of our generation is a little bit disappointed that he didn't stop the YouTube kid. But across the world, we're very proud of Mike, and I know everybody across the globe called from a good friend of his and a big supporter, His Excellence Turki Ali Sheikh, just before just when he got into the locker room before he went out, and His Excellence wished him the best and told him how proud of him he was, and gave him a big pep talk also. So he's got love and support everybody all across the world.
Mike Tyson performed admirably despite the loss, showing incredible strength and resilience. His ability to battle through a tough fight after overcoming a serious health scare left a lasting impression, proving that the true victory was in his determination and courage.
Yeah, after I seen him a little bit tired, I didn't want to put too much hurt on him, but I wanted the fans to get a good experience. But there was a point where all of my aggression and like super violence and like I'm gonna knock this guy out and show him, it went away when I wasn't getting hit much at all. And I don't know, I just
punches weren't doing it.
I love Mike.
Jake Paul responded to the fight by saying that he noticed Mike Tyson seemed weaker, so he chose not to land any tough punches on him. Despite this, Paul expressed his admiration for Tyson, saying he still loves the boxing legend.
Nice left hook. Up.
Was good for today.
Yeah.
I truly believe.
You sure?
Yeah, me
yes.
too.
Sure? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. You sure? Yeah. It's all right?
Yes. Let's do this.
You did great.
We're done.
We're gonna do it.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Trust me.
I got a lot in me.
Mike Tyson's boxing comeback resulted in a loss at the hands of social media influencer Jake Paul, who defeated the former undisputed heavyweight champion Friday night via unanimous decision at the AT&T Stadium crowd in Arlington, Texas. Despite all the hype before the fight about how dangerous Iron Mike still was at 58 years old, what happened inside the ring clearly did not support that narrative. Tyson looked like a shell of his former self, with Paul having his way on the baddest man on the planet from start to finish.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tyson, however, doesn't appear ready to walk away from the sport just yet. Even after a lackluster performance against Paul, Tyson is leaving the door open for another possible fight. Asked by combat sports journalist Ariel Helwani if the Paul fight was his final one, Tyson said, "I don't think so." Helwani then followed that up by asking Tyson who could be his next opponent. "I don't know, maybe his Jake Paul brother," Tyson responded, referring to Logan Paul, who was standing beside Jake. At any rate, Tyson can be commended for at least having enough gas in his tank to last 8 2-minute rounds against a much younger opponent who was born nearly 12 years before Tyson made his professional boxing debut. British professional boxer and Mike Tyson's best buddy Tyson Fury also admired his performance and called him the scariest fighter on the planet. Mike Tyson was the only fighter from the 1980s whom no one had the courage to fight against him.
Was in August 1988, when this man was in full swing.
Wow.
Nobody beaten him in the 80s. Nobody would have beat him, only had bad guidance, bad people around him, nobody looking after him. Everybody wanted a piece of this young man and he had no one to turn to.
Yeah.
Who had his back properly. Am I right in saying this, Mike?
Yeah, that's true.
So it is what it is. I've studied this guy probably as much as a great Customato's probably studied him, you know what I'm saying? But listen, it's an honor for me to call my son after this man.
John Fury, the father of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, once moved boxing legend Mike Tyson to near tears with the revelation that his son was named after him. Jake Paul, though, will have no shortage of options, and as one of the biggest draws out there, love him or hate him, he holds all of the cards. Names such as Canelo Alvarez, Gervonta Davis, and Conor McGregor were bandied around at the post-fight press conference late into the night on Friday. Paul said after defeating Tyson, "Canelo needs me, so I'm not even going to try and call him out, he knows he wants a payday, so he knows where the money man is at. When asked about Davis, Paul said he would be willing to take on Tank. Paul further added before joking about the 5'5" fighter's stature, "I'd be down. Let's run it. I'd be super down. Is there a height limit in boxing?" As for the UFC superstar who will soon be returning to the octagon after several years out of action, Paul said the Irishman is scared of him. Paul said, "It's funny to say that Conor McGregor is scared of Jake Paul and will never box him, but it's the truth. Look at him go toe-to-toe with Nate Diaz, who was easy work for me. Just a Monday sparring session to beat Nate Diaz's." But the big thing that Paul sees on the horizon for himself is a title shot. Paul declared, "In the next 24 months, I truly believe in my skills and my ability and my power. The cruiserweight division is seemingly open for the taking on that timeline." Mike Tyson, despite the setback, left the ring on Friday night with his head held high, expressing satisfaction with his performance. The 58-year-old legend may have only won 2 rounds across all 3 judges' scorecards, 80-72 and 79-73 twice, but he remained standing until the final bell, proving that his pride was intact. Tyson remarked, "I didn't prove anything to anybody, only to myself. I'm not here to please the world. I'm just happy with what I can do." Once the dominant force of the heavyweight division in the late 80s, Tyson struggled to replicate the devastating aggression that once made him a feared figure. His movements were noticeably hindered by a black brace on his right knee, which became more apparent after the second round. Despite this, Tyson was unyielding. "I can't use that for excuses," he admitted, referencing the injury he'd been battling before the fight. "If I did, I wouldn't be in there," with just 18 punches landed out of 97 attempts. Compared to Paul's 78 out of 278, Tyson's signature ferocity seemed a step behind. Yet his heart and determination remained undiminished. Tyson proved that while age and injury may slow him down, his spirit remains unbroken.
And same with his punches. I think he landed like some half punches, but full punches he only landed like 2, and I don't know, my chin is really good. It's kind of scary. It's like a good and bad thing, like being able to take a lot of punches.
0 nerves in there from the jump.
Like barely, like just, I wouldn't say even nerves, just like the proper amount of excited energy, because there's a fine line between like excitement and nervousness.
Even though Mike Tyson may not have the same raw ferocity as in his prime, his punches still pack a serious punch. At 58, the legend's power hasn't completely faded. Thanks to his unmatched experience and finely tuned technique, Tyson's strikes remain formidable, proof that age hasn't dulled his lethal edge. In the ring, he's still a dangerous force to be reckoned with. He also hinted at his indifference toward legacy, saying, "Legacy is nothing."
Perspective. If Mike Tyson threw that fight for $20 million, he sold his soul. Selling your soul is going against your I am. Selling your soul is going against your moral compass for financial gain or materialism, which is why you get this empty, soulless look in Mike's face, because it's regretful what he did. He told this young lady that legacy is nothing.
Observers noted odd interactions during the match, with Tyson allegedly whispering instructions to Paul and referees signaling Paul to avoid specific moves. These moments further supported claims that the fight was choreographed rather than competitive.
Measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his gloves, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during the fight. That should be enough proof that this fight is scripted.
Paul has also set his sights on finally making his debut in the cage after signing for the leading MMA promotion PFL in 2022, and the organization's CEO Peter Murray expects to sit down with Paul to discuss his first fight in the weeks after he takes on Tyson. Murray said, "I'm not sure if it's going to be his very next fight in combat sports, but he will debut in 2025. He further added, "Look what Jake has proved in boxing. He's an incredible athlete. He's a pro boxer. boxer, and he's taken on some legit opponents, and he has blazed his own trail. He's gonna do it the same way in MMA. He's all about being an advocate for athletes and blazing new trails, so he's absolutely gonna take on MMA and be as focused and dedicated as he is to boxing. Paul has won 10 of his 11 boxing fights, with his only defeat coming against Tommy Fury last year. Paul and Fury have remained on a collision course for a rematch ever since, and could renew their rivalry in the cage after Fury spent time training with UFC interim heavyweight world champion Tom Aspinall. As for what's next, Jake Paul seems focused on continuing to prove himself in the boxing world, potentially facing more seasoned opponents as he looks to elevate his career. After the Tyson bout, his respect for the sport has only deepened, and he'll likely pursue bigger challenges in the ring. For Mike Tyson, it remains to be seen if he'll step back into the ring again. At 58, Tyson has already proven his resilience, but it's clear he's no longer the wrecking ball he once was. What's next for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? Will Tyson make another comeback, or has he passed the torch to the next generation of fighters? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section.